JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, St. Catherine's stepfather charged for fatal beating of 4-year-old remanded. The stepfather, 4-year-old Nashon Brown, who died after being beaten, was today remanded when he appeared before the St. Catherine Parish Court. 24-year-old Sean Bennett, who is charged with unlawful wounding, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, cruelty to child, and child abuse, is expected to return to court on Thursday, July 29, when the matter will again be mentioned. At that time, his lawyer, Lyndon Wellesley, is expected to make another application for bail. Wellesley today applied for bail for his client, who is from Willowdean in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, but was told by Parish Judge Opal Smith that another address was required before the request could be considered. Wellesley agreed and told the court that he would renew the application on the next mentioned date. Allegations are that on Sunday, July 18, 4-year-old Brown complained of feeling ill and was given a meal by his mother. He was allegedly eating slowly when Bennett became angry and proceeded to beat him with a stick. The child's mother reportedly intervened and was also assaulted. Shortly after, the child became unresponsive and was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Bennett was subsequently arrested and charged. Police searching for men who abducted and raped student in Manchester. The Manchester police are searching for 2 men who abducted and raped an 18-year-old student in the parish last weekend. The teenager was also drugged by the men in the attack, which occurred in Bronte District on Sunday. It's reported that the teenager was walking when a car with 2 men aboard drove up, dragged her into the vehicle, and took her to bushes. She was allegedly forced to drink a substance after being threatened. The teenager became unconscious after she was sexually assaulted. She was found by residents who took her to the hospital. Tony Matterhorn's gun seized pending FLA probe. Popular selector Tony Matterhorn is being investigated by the Firearms Licensing Authority, FLA, after reports of an online threat made to a fellow entertainer were ventilated to the regulatory body. The Dirty Wine singer also had his firearm seized by the FLA pending the results of the probe. I can confirm that that is the case, a tight-lipped Shane Darling, Chief Executive Officer of the Firearm Licensing Authority, said. Reports are that the weapon was confiscated after the popular selector, whose real name is Dufton Anthony Taylor, was accused of making serious threats against Bounty Killer, with whom he has a decades-old feud on social media. Oshin Levy, the Corporate Communications Officer of the FLA, said, "Yes, we are currently doing an investigation, and as a regulatory body regulating firearm usage, it is our duty to ensure that a licensed firearm holder is fit and proper to possess a firearm." She referred to Section 29 of the Firearms Act, which clearly sets out governing rules of behavior expected of a licensed firearm holder. Section 29 speaks of the considerations of being granted a license to carry a firearm, specifically temperament and mental fitness, she said. She issued a stern warning to licensed firearm holders with loose lips and volatile temperaments. As an entity, we are watching and sending a message to holders, encouraging persons to be responsible, not only in terms of keeping and care, but to be careful how you express yourself in the public space, as it may have implications. We are monitoring social media and considering all reports, Levy said. Once we receive a report, we will most likely check into the matter and ensure it is not something that is taken further. Once an investigation is done and is complete, there will be a further discussion based on what we unearth, and the outcome will be related to Mr. Taylor. Over the years, several entertainers have lost their license to carry firearms, and in recent months, several artists have been paraded through the courts on illegal firearm charges. Over $13 million spent on one social patient at Falmouth Hospital. It has been all of 12 years since 49-year-old Dennis Green was abandoned by his family at the Falmouth Hospital in Trelawney, and based on the hospital's calculation, the price tag to the government for feeding and accommodating him has been $13 million so far. According to the hospital's Chief Executive Officer, Prudence Wedderburn, it costs the hospital approximately $3,000 daily to care for each patient, and while Green is not sick, he is enjoying the same benefits as genuinely ill patients. It costs us $3,000 to keep social patients like Green at the hospital, and over time the money adds up, said Wedderburn. whose calculation put Green's cost on the system at over $13 million. Green was admitted to the Falmouth Hospital in 2009 after he fell from a breadfruit tree and ended up being crippled from his waist down. Upon being told that he would require a surgical procedure costing $250,000, his family simply abandoned him, leaving him at the mercy of the state. Senton Jordy Sinclair, who heads the Western Regional Health Authority, believes the $30 million stab placed on the care Green has been getting might be on the low side, as some of the services he has been receiving have not been factored in. It is a strain on the government's coffers. This is just for 365 days per year, said Sinclair. Not included is the cost of staff to deal with social patients. There are doctors, nurses, and janitorial staff who have to clean up after they have messed up the place. Sinclair said the cost to care for the social patients is a great strain on the hospital and would like to see their families located and persuaded to take them in. All involved at the administration level have to appeal to relatives who drop off their loved ones and leave them. They occupy space needed by genuinely sick people who need internal medical care, said Sinclair, in expressing his own frustration with the situation. According to matron Pauline Dawkins Palmer, there are currently 8 social patients at the hospital, but the number fluctuates at times as some persons would leave and then come back. In a recent public statement on the matter, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said social patients cannot be just thrown out on the street, hence the need to locate their families so that they can be released into their care. By policy and legislation, social patients are not to be put out on the street, said Tufton, explaining the restraint faced by the government. There was a suggestion that social patients be removed from the Falmouth Hospital to the Falmouth Infirmary, but that idea was shut down because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and a lack of space at the infirmary. 52 new COVID cases in Jamaica. There are 52 new COVID-19 positive cases in Jamaica on Monday, while the island's virus death toll climbed by 1 in the 24-hour period, according to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This pushed the total number of confirmed cases on the island since the outbreak to 52,141 and the confirmed deaths to 1,179. The new cases comprise 23 females and 29 males with ages ranging from 2 to 87 years. According to the ministry, 16 of the cases were recorded in Westmoreland, 12 in Kingston and St. Andrew, 7 in St. James, 5 in Manchester, 3 each in St. Catherine, St. Mary and Hanover, and 1 each in Clarendon, Portland and Trelawney. Meanwhile, the death of a 76-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, which was previously under investigation, was confirmed Monday as virus-related. Another death was reported as being under investigation. The ministry further reported 24 new recoveries, which pushed the total recoveries to 46,892. There are 3,713 active cases on the island. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.